Hey guys, here, another in the long line of Madden 20 videos that are going to be on this channel. I want to talk about some of the gameplay talk that came out a couple days ago, run past options, kind of get my thoughts on where it's going, and kind of, this one article had a lot of points in it that I thought were very illuminating with how the game is. And obviously, we got to filter through a lot of the early marketing speak, kind of interpret between the lines, because of course everything is sunshine and rainbows until we figure out and play the game as a community and find out those kind of dark corridors where the gremlins live. So, this one's on Game Informer. I'll link it in the description, of course. How Madden 20 is addressing the past gameplay issues. I love the title of this. I love that EA knows there are gameplay issues. People inside of EA obviously know there's gameplay issues. We complained a lot about them. They hear us, hopefully. The higher-ups do. I know the frontline people do, like Kralo and stuff. But get right into it. EA Sports and developer EA Tiburon just announced Madden NFL 20. All right. Fans want to know that the underlying gameplay is fixed. God, yes. Last year's title was not only buggy at launch, but along with there was plenty of complaints about key aspects of the running game, blocking and catching. Yes, yes, yes. Although the developer hasn't started talking about specific gameplay changes for Madden 20, which they're going to do streams on this stuff. I think gameplay is one of the last streams they're going to do. So that I'll be covering on this channel. You can stick around here for the summations of them. Otherwise, they're happening Thursday nights on Twitch, and I'll be live streaming against it and you know, talking about it while that's happening. So kind of breaking it down live, and then later here on YouTube. Creative Director Mike Young said there's probably going to be a laundry list of things the community would get excited about. I think we need a lot with animations. It's cleaner, more bug-free game. Now, I love that he's on record saying this. Now, it's a lot easier to say than do with a lot of things in life. And fixing Madden's legacy codes, their bugs, it is going to be almost an impossible task. Like our job as community members, we are here to break the game in order to make it easier for us to score, right? Their job is to make it so we can't break the game. So it's kind of like a Tom and Jerry thing. They keep trying to squash our bugs, but we keep finding a new one and a new one and a new one and over. But there's probably going to be a laundry list of things the community would get excited about. That is good news. That means they've checked off a lot of issues that we've had. And here's the thing. Let's tell the truth. There's been a lot of issues over the years that they have fixed that we no longer really talk about. A lot of the overpowered things, I'm not even going to get into it, you know, with the PA end-arounds. I guess I wasn't going to get into it. The nano blitzes, that stuff. So hopefully they check off a lot of the issues, you know, running back blocking, there's crossing routes, not being able to be defended. So the laundry list. I really hope it's like, what, 20, 100 long. There's so many things wrong with it. I don't even know what number to put there because there's a lot of big things and then there's smaller things. But moving on, I think we did a lot with animations. Now, animations are kind of big bugaboo in the community, and it makes sense because we're very limited with animations. It feels like you put your guy in one position and the game kind of decides what position to then turn him into, to suck him into a certain animation, whether it's a win or loss animation. So a lot of people wanted to play more natural animation list. I don't think that's possible. You know, that's kind of like the dream world where you can control each individual limb with a different controller, like maybe a 3D realistic game. That's not possible what they can do right now. But to somehow make it so it feels smoother, maybe more animations. I know people are like, what the hell, more animations, you son of a bitch. But more variety, make it more, because everything we see on screen is essentially an animation, right? Like, you run, you're in a running animation. So I don't know where the line is and how to like kind of differentiate between animations and animations because it's all like one term, and how do I feasibly break this down? The animations that we hate are ones that are like they don't pay off. They don't reward you for being where you are, or like, and say like an animation, like say somebody throws a high point pass and you have 3 defenders and they go up the high point pass and come down with it. That animation that they got is bullshit, right? They should lose that. If they're throwing in a triple coverage, they should use that. So that animation is bullshit. But if it's an animation where like a D lineman beats an offensive lineman off the tackle because it's like LT beating up some bad player, then that's a fine animation. That's football, right? Or quarterback's throwing motion being different than other throwing motions. That's animations. That's fine. So it's such an in-depth. Maybe I should do a video just on animations itself. But they did a lot with animations. They looked at them. A lot of the issues we had, like sideline catches, are still an issue. Hopefully that's fixed. It's cleaner and more bug-free game. I love this portion of the bug-free game. But again, this is something we can't really test. We can only take them for what their word is right now. We'll, of course, see the game as it comes up in the coming months. I want to talk about beta. That too. I'm jumping a couple paragraphs. Of course, when we get the beta, we won't be able to talk about. Last year was the open beta, so everybody in the world could join. I looked at it. I played it. Thought it was better than 18. 19 ended up being better than 18, but still's got a long ways to go. So I don't know when we're getting this beta, but they have confirmed. It looks like makes the beta as planned. I would hope that the beta is going to be open and not just like a closed beta. But they'll have a beta. I mean, there's a beta no matter what, right? It depends if it's open or not. So I guess they haven't confirmed open beta. So maybe I highlighted this too incorrectly. But seeing that there is going to be a beta, and they hopefully include the new feature, this new gameplay feature coming out. Let's rewind. We'll come back to that in a second. One of the structural things the team did to improve the game this time around was address bugs in gameplay as they went along instead of trying to do it all at the end of development. That's awesome. Nice freaking work, Michael Young and Clint and the rest of the gameplay team. If you're starting it early, of course, the proof is in the pudding. We'll see come August. But if they started on bugs, because a huge thing, like I said, gameplay, instead of just trying to squash it all at the end, they actually went along and made it a major focus along the way. Dude, that is sex to my ears. Young says the game was playable earlier than ever and it has them fix more bugs than previous years. I wonder if it's because they're not adding a whole lot of like gameplay features outside of RPOs, although RPO is kind of a big deal and kind of the superpowers that we're getting. Maybe they're not like they didn't do like anything like a target passing, although RPOs are probably more impactful than target passing. Maybe they didn't like innovate as much in gameplay. We haven't really heard much about MUT, so maybe they've been really focused on bugs more than anything else. And then obviously the people in the franchise mode are kind of the main focus a lot of this year, that face of the franchise. So hopefully that is something they did. They squashed out those bugs early. Young said the shift in development timeline, so they got the game done quicker, has even resulted in a gameplay feature that was internally play tested for possible inclusion. The Under Wraps feature was first meant to fix a legacy issue, but actually became a new way to play the game. Hopefully this feature makes the beta as planned. So, talk about the beta. So what could this feature be, conceivably? What are legacy issues in Madden? There are quite a few of them. Obviously, you talked about animations. The biggest one that I think is like O-line mechanics and blocking mechanics. And maybe passing too. So what could they have done with O-line blocking to be a new way of playing the game? A million things. But the one that comes to mind is what they've shown in long shot is 7-on-7, right? Maybe the gameplay feature is internally tested to test out like DBs, wide receivers, by taking the offensive line off the field and not get sacked like we do every single time in practice mode. Maybe 7-on-7 becomes that new way to play. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's a new feature for next year. I don't know. I would think so since they've had it pre-built, but this seems like a weird sentence to say we're doing 7-on-7 because of bug testing, bug fixing, when they've had it for a few years. So that wouldn't seem to be the correct origin story, which leads me to believe it's something different. But what could it be? What do you guys think in the comments? Put below, what do you think this potential gameplay feature could be? It was meant to fix a legacy issue. Meant to fix a legacy issue, but it could be a gameplay feature. Huh. Legacy issues. Wow. I don't know, dudes. I do not know. So, the RPO. What do I think? I love it. This is football, all right? This is a football, in the end, simulation / arcade-ish type of game because it can never really get a perfect simulation. So the run-pass option plays were conspicuously absent last year, even though they've taken over the NFL, especially on the back end of the Eagles, further popularizing them on the way to Super Bowl victory in 2017-18 season. At first, RPOs were considered too big to include. I remember how disappointed we were last year that they weren't included, but Young says it was prototype polished and added to Madden 20. Absolutely beautiful. The Mona Lisa that we need. So, are these going to be overpowered? Potentially. Are they going to be useless? Potentially. We don't know. We'll see how polished and prototyped and flawless they are. Of course, I'm sure there'll be like some sort of play action rating that'll play into it. Whether your running back will get the ball or your quarterback's going to keep it and throw it. Obviously, I assume it's going to be similar to like the option. You just hold A to hand it off, or there'll be something like that to hold A or to hand it off or to pull it back. You just don't hold A, kind of like options are right now. So RPOs, yes, beautiful. I really hope it actually like plays differently because different linebackers might play it differently. Because in the end, in MUT, we'll all have high play recs. Maybe we'll just stay in pass coverage the whole time, but then you run the ball. Kind of putting guys in a rock and hard space. So basically, maybe it'll force the users to be even better. The thing with users is they're so good, you can play the run and get back and stop a poster out right now. So The RPO, I think its success depends on how effective users are. If they're as powerful as they were this year, I don't know if the RPO is going to be that big of a deal. Depending on the kind of players you have too, whether they play run first or pass first in the RPO, that might be an option you set, kind of like quarterback option for like contains and stuff. So that might be that'd be nice to have that, because I think I would rather play my guys. I would rather have them play pass first, run second in Madden, and then maybe have them play run first, then use the pass. It'd be tough to tell. It's hard to say right now without using it and seeing how it plays. What I probably would have them rather play the pass first, because I can always shoot a gap with the user. Like the other guys, they're gonna get blocked no matter what. Even right now against runs, the linebackers don't really fill the run holes very well. So I think have them sit on their heels playing pass, not to get beat, or like top with like a slant, and then kind of rally the ball carrier, because that's literally what we're used to playing right now as Madden. You just have to have a user to be able to shoot a gap to stop the run nowadays. So again, run pass options and the different type of formations you can run them out of, different type of route combinations you run them out of. I hope they don't and especially with the new superpowers like pump fake and stuff with Roethlisberger. I don't know if they'll be leading like one play touchdowns, so it might be that big a deal. Like the biggest issue with Madden is like when one play touchdowns are prevalent and like game breaking. I love one play touchdowns. If somebody sits in a certain coverage all game, if you can just one play them because they're predictable, that I love one play touchdowns. But one play touchdowns where like fake screen wheel was, where like no matter what you did, you could still gain 40 yards because of how badly they played. That's an issue. But like RPOs are generally more quick hitters, but there's obviously many different types of them. So we'll see what kind of shenanigans are brought to the game. Maybe we'll get some bites on, and then there's some like wheel routes, maybe some fake screen wheel route type stuff. We see that quite a bit in the NFL. Wheel routes this year are pretty powerful. Hopefully next year they continue to work pretty well and everything works well, right? That's an easy statement to make. Young thinks the result is going to be big for the teams that have RPOs in their playbooks. Along with superstar and X Factor abilities for top players, Young believes RPO are going to give multiple teams multiple strategies to win, whether it's your franchise, mode, or ultimate team. So different playbooks will have RPOs. We'll have to look at the certain teams in the NFL running them and then the varieties. Obviously, if somebody has a lot of them, it's more than likely they have a good one. But I'm guessing one or two plays are going to take over just like every single Madden year, and then they'll have to patch it as we go through the year. So we're going to try and obviously exploit it and win a lot of games with these RPOs. We'll see how powerful it is, of course, when the beta comes out. Hopefully we'll be able to test out the RPO and work through a lot of the bugs and issues with it and write on their forums like we did last year. Speaking of playbooks, Madden 20 won't have a play creator feature, but they will be updated through the year. That's interesting that they mentioned the play creator feature. Maybe that's something for the future. God, I would love that. I would love a play creator feature so much. If we could do that in MUT, or yeah, if we could get a play creator feature and put it in MUT and have it like a custom offense, oh my God, that would be amazing. I bet you people would be able to like charge for their play creator stuff, their play creations too. That might bring like a whole secondary market onto Madden, but we'll see if like you can make them downloadable, if you can share them. But they will be updated through the year, and overall, Young says they have more variety this year, especially with the RPR. Oh, thank God. Madden's had a lot of the same meta the last like 4 years, gun bunch, and some of the blitzes due to the lack of variety in the playbooks and lack of their changes from year to year. So hopefully mix it up quite a bit. They made this promise last year to talk about updating them through the year, and we only got one update, so I really hope they commit more to that in the future. Maybe it was a test run, but they really do need to commit to updating their playbooks through the year, because that really changed up the meta if they put in something powerful. Last year, their addition wasn't that good because the run game wasn't very good out of them, slow handoffs with that split back stuff. So it was a good first step, baby steps. Not too overwhelmingly powerful, but I guess that's fine to be underpowered rather than overpowered right off the bat and then have to fix it later. So that's not bad in my mind. But Madden 20 has a lot on its plate. It's fixing lingering game issues. Oh, yes, please. And adding RPOs will hopefully make the game feel much... Like, this is exactly what we wanted, right? For the gameplay. Fix the issues. Add RPOs. There's a couple other things on the wish list, but, I mean, this is basically what we as a community want. Good gameplay, and then bring in NFL concepts. Maybe they'll bring in the Philly special in the future, but obviously those things are kind of more icing on the cake. But we really want that batter to be good, so... I'm excited for it. It sounds like they listen to us, adding the RPOs, everything. So let me know what you guys think about the article about Madden 20, everything. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I will see you tomorrow.